Open letter from Dr. George Christos to Mr. Ban Ki-moon, General Secretary of the United Nations, dated the 23rd of January 2012. Dear Mr. Ban Ki-moon, I am writing to you to tell you about an idea of mine that may have profound implications for world peace. At the moment the world is in turmoil with likely revolutions all around the globe. There is considerable unrest in the Middle East, Africa and Asia, and even in Western democracies. Here I am referring to the Occupy movement. It is great that countries like Libya, Egypt, Yemen, and Iraq, for example, are now free from dictatorship, but I do not think imposing a Western-style democracy on them will work. The problem is that a government is elected with a majority of just over 50% of the vote, and so close to 50% of the people are unhappy, and minority groups receive little or no representation. The other problem with these countries in the Middle East and in Africa is that most of the people are religiously fanatical or passionate, they carry guns, and are prepared to use them. When democracy first started in Sparta, all locals would gather in a hall to discuss matters, but when the population grew too large to fit all the people in the hall, they used a lottery system. Currently, though, it seems that the democratic world is largely run by middle-aged men who want ever-increasing power, and I believe that this may be the cause of a lot of the world's problems. Currently, though, it seems that the democratic world is largely run by middle-aged men who want ever-increasing power, and I believe that this may be the cause of a lot of the world's problems. In the mid-1990s I came up with a similar idea to that used in Sparta, which I called random democracy, where the representatives of the parliament are randomly chosen from the public by lot. The beauty of this system is that every single subgroup within society will be represented proportionally. This includes women, ethnic minority groups, and youth, for example. Now, you may query me as to whether such a group can govern a country, so let me provide you with an example. In Australia, if one was to choose 500 parliamentarians, statistically at least 10 would come from the health industry, providing a group who can oversee the health portfolio. The same applies to other areas such as transport, education, and finance. Initiating such a system of government would of course be a difficult task, particularly trying to justify it to third world countries when we do not have the same system in our Western democracy. Let me offer a couple of options. 1. Start by appointing the Senate or upper house by random selection. That way the people would have a final voice in any decisions made by the government. 2. An even better idea, suggested to me by my son Daniel Christos, is to start a non-political party in all these countries, including Western democracies. The candidates of this random democracy party will be randomly chosen from the public. Please note that if a member of the public does not want to be included in this process, they can decline, and the usual requirements of no criminal convictions, over 18 or 21 years of age, etc. apply. I believe this party will receive enormous widespread support by people who feel they are disenfranchised in the current political system. By the way, I myself am disenfranchised in the Australian political system. I live in a safe ALP seat and my vote counts for nothing. Unless you live in a marginal seat and you are a swinging voter, your vote in Australia does not really count. I would love to see the United Nations start a non-political People's Party in every country around the world. I would be happy to discuss this idea with you further, or to even give a talk at the United Nations Assembly. I am passionate about my idea, and confident that it may lead to a much more peaceful world. Yours sincerely, Dr. George Christos.